Anybody want to take number one or number two? I'll do it if
How,
nobody else did.
how comfortable do you guys feel with these? Because I'm so
Not.
confused.
We were just both saying that we've got a lot of process of elimination going on.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we know what it's not a lot of the time, but it's
Right.
very confusing.
Well, I feel it's one way, but then I can't prove that because I'm going back like, why do I feel like it's that way?
Yeah.
I
So,
found that looking at the null and the alternate hypothesis helps a little of what
Super helpful.
format it has to be in.
Yes. Toward the
But-
end, when those definitely, I found like that was
Okay.
sometimes the dead giveaway, or if it mentioned a t-test or something like that, it was like, okay, there's the answer. Okay, I'll start with number two if nobody else is going to. Did I just say the answers? Jody is driving away after this, so we might as well
Okay,
just
yeah,
say
let's
the answers.
crank this out.
I put chi-squared test of independence on the first one.
I did too.
I did too.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
good.
that's good.
I
If we all
think-
got the same answer, then
I think the key word was differs.
differs.
I did. That was
sorry.
independent of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I put.
So-
Let me just see what
Where
my
was that?
yeah.
Because
It was worded much better on the quiz than it was on the paper. On the paper, it was really hard to understand what they were talking about.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's different. Shoot, I hope I don't miss things because of that.
they're the same.
It's the same information, just worded better.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, number three, someone.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I put independent sample t-test.
I did too.
Like, again, I don't know if that's right.
Okay, I had put I had put the chi-squared test of independence again, but I'm not saying that that's right. I did put chi-test of independence or independence t-test, so I think that's probably the right answer. So were there key terms in there that you thought made that right, just so that we...
Well, I went to the null hypothesis of an independent test, which is the mean of one has to equal the mean of the other,
Right.
And so they're looking to see if it is or if it's not equal. So that's kind of why I chose that one.
Okay.
Because they didn't want they didn't want to see a difference because of discrimination.
Right. Well, and it helps too. Like I started with, okay, there's two groups they're testing.
Right.
I just kind of did a process of elimination where I'm like, okay, we have two samples. And then from there, I was like, it's not paired, it's independent.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've thought that it's or you thought that it was quantitative versus categorical because it is what? Because I'm saying the 40-year-olds and the under 40, the over 40s and the under 40s, but it has nothing to do with a number.
It's number of employees terminated.
Okay. I had underlined that. So that's okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So the next one. Geez, that's a long, big old question by the time you get through all the multiple choice.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one I did, and I went between these two, but I did test of one proportion, but I wasn't sure if it was two proportions.
I put two proportions.
I put two.
Okay.
Because it's comparing one proportion is different than the other proportion.
Right. There's two different samples. Okay.
Okay.
I agree because when I read over it this time, I was like, no, I got it wrong. It's two.
Okay. Okay, so for question 5, that's what we're on question 5, right? Because I'm
correct.
Yes.
I put independent sample t-test.
I put paired samples because it's the same students doing both
Right.
blocks.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're measuring the difference between the two paired samples.
Okay. I'm going to have to look over that. I mean, I believe you. I just am flustered, I guess. Okay. All right. So number 6.
Okay. I put paired samples T confidence interval.
Yes.
Wait, which are we on? Are we on the
Bank employees to
okay.
appraisers.
Yep.
I have a big question mark on it. Okay. I think it's your turn, Jody.
Did you want us to explain why we did paired for number 5 or 6 in this?
Well, it makes sense to me that it's imperative that the appraisers have the same types of properties consistently. So they're like, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes more sense. Like just.
So there were 6 properties and they had each appraiser appraise each house and then they compared the difference of their appraisals. So if you're comparing differences between the things, then that would be the paired samples.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. I'm doubting myself again. Okay, I put for number 7, I did a confidence interval for 2 proportions.
That's what I put.
I didn't, but let me read it again. Because I put independent samples, T confidence interval. Because I didn't see anything about proportions in the question.
You're right.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was questioning it, because I'm like, there was nothing about proportions.
Uh-huh. Me too.
So you did the independent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Because you're comparing psychology majors and their satisfaction with accounting majors and their satisfaction. So you can't subtract anything because it's not the same information. So it's not dependent or paired. Yeah.
But what numbers are we comparing? Is it so it's the percentages?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to either be independent samples, T confidence interval, or the confidence interval of 2 proportions. But since it didn't mention anything about proportions, I automatically just crossed that out. But it could, I guess percentage is a proportion, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it was confidence interval because so hold on, let me just read it one more time. They're satisfied or very satisfied. Huh. But it's a proportion. Or I mean a percentage. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I guess I still kind of feel like it's a confidence interval for 2 proportions, but I'm willing to. I mean, we're all supposed to go with the same answer, right? I guess.
No, it's your choice, but I do see, because even in our reading, if it was a proportion, it would have the word proportion.
Proportion. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But whether percentage is not considered, well, a proportion?
A proportion, you usually compute it as a percentage. But I don't know. I'm gonna stick with mine, and then if we get it wrong, I think it's the other one. So I'm just gonna make a note that it's either that or 2 proportions.
2 proportions. Okay. All right. That sounds fine. Okay, so question 8, I cannot remember whose turn it is. It's the Oreos.
I think it's you, Elizabeth.
Okay. I put, okay, let's see, what did I put? I put independent. One does not determine the other.
I did too.
One sample.
Okay, let's reread this one.
Because they take a sample of 55 double stuffed Oreos and measure the filling in each one. So they're only measuring double stuffs. There's nothing they can compare it to. They just want to find the mean of that.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I chose one sample.
Okay. I had just assumed that they had tested the regular.
You would think they'd have to, but it doesn't mention anything in there, so I don't know. Oh, in order to compare it to the filling amount in regular Oreos. Okay, hang on. I didn't read this very carefully. But just to construct the confidence interval to estimate the true mean filling of double stuffs, that would be your one sample.
It's a one sample.
And then once they get that, then they can
So it's the one sample. Okay. Is it the one sample T confidence? Because we're obviously not given.
Yeah, because your sigma's unknown.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, in that study, I
I'm
had
gonna
just
put a
assumed that they had compared
question
it.
mark on that one too.
All right. Number 9.
All right, Meredith, I think you're number
Is it
9.
back to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Which of the following best defines the level, a significance level? That's the probability of the type 1 error.
That's what I put.
Yes.
But I had to look back on that one.
I did too.
Look that one up.
Yes.
Like, didn't seem like that would be the right answer, but it absolutely was.
Right. All right, question number 10. Which one of the following best defines the notion of the p-value of the hypothesis test? I said the probability of observing a sample statistic more extreme than one actually obtained, assuming the null hypothesis is true.
That's what I put.
Yep.
Okay. Question 11. Let me see which one. Okay, I put the 95% of all 95 confidence intervals actually contain the true mean.
That's what I put too.
Yes.
And
We've
that
had
seems to be
something
right.
similar before.
Exactly. And I'm so
Even though
grateful.
it makes no sense.
It doesn't at all. And I don't remember learning that, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I know it's right because we've done it. I've gotten it right on a quiz or two.
Right.
Okay.
All right, number 12. I'm going to skip the information. What's the mean of the distribution of the sample proportions? I put 0.30.
That's
Because
what I
aren't they the same thing?
It is. It's a
Okay,
trick
that one
question.
always gets
I
you.
spent forever looking for this one. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang it, it's the trick question again.
Given.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's not enough information, so it's got to be something tricky here.
Right?
That's funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the next one is what is the standard deviation of the distribution of the sample proportions? It's 0.046.
Yes, that's what I put.
And thank goodness they had multiple choice on the paper.
I
'cause I'm
know.
like,
Isn't that wonderful?
Until the end.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what's the probability that your random sample of 100 adults will have a sample proportion less than 0.25? I got, let's see, wait, I'm 14. I got 0.138 or 139. 0.138 is what it gives you.
I
on the
have
quiz.
0.876.
Oh my.
Okay.
What did you
So
put, Jody?
this is the thing. My answer was none of these answers because I got like 0.1374 and I was like, it doesn't round up to 0.138.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm getting it wrong. I'm doing it wrong.
Okay. That's probably why interesting.
Did you guys use the Excel page?
I did not.
This one I did not. This one I tried to calculate by hand.
Because that's how I did it. So I put in that there were 30 out of 100 in the blue boxes.
Okay.
And then change the null hypothesis to 0.25 because that's what they're asking. I'm just double checking my.
So
And then
so you did that hat one, like which Excel did you do?
Excel for one proportion.
Okay.
And then we want to know if it's
So smart.
probability will be less than 0.25. So I'm just making sure I had the right one in there. That's why I'm double.
Right.
less than, and
Yeah,
then
I still get a p-value of 0.876.
and that's the p. So wait, what did you put in as your x?
X would be 30 because p was 0.30. And
Okay.
again, if I've messed this up, you can tell me that too
Okay.
because I was just
Go through
guessing here.
what you plugged in again because I'm not getting it.
So,
Huh.
so if the proportion is 0.30, that's 30 out of 100. So that's X is 30 and N is 100.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And then your null hypothesis is that we wanted, what's the probability that your random sample of 100 adults will have a sample proportion less than 0.25? So change your null
Yeah, null hypothesis.
null hypothesis to 0.25
Okay.
and your type of test to less than.
Okay. I can see that. I like that answer better than what I got.
Yeah, because when
Does
I
that sound like I did it right? I mean, I got an answer on the thing, so I'm like, well, that must be what it is because I got one of those. So
I hear you. Well, the other one, the answer that I got was 0.139, not 0.138.
Okay.
So, the answer that I got was not exactly the same as what's here. So it makes me think that that is right.
I had one of those too later on where mine didn't round the same way as theirs, but it was really close.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's hope that that's the right
I
answer.
think it is. It's because it's exact. Like,
Yeah, as opposed to my pretend. My almost the same.
I
My almost the same is not quite as good as a real exact answer.
solid answer.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta change my answer then. I think. Did I do it right? Okay, yes.
That was 13. Okay, so
That was number
it's my
14.
turn. Yeah. Okay, so 15. What is the margin of error for this 95% confidence interval? Let me just, I have 0.016.
Correct.
Okay, I didn't do it because remember I didn't open the quiz, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
go back.
Yours didn't have that question.
Yeah, it's question number 15. I'm just gonna write that I'm gonna go back and figure it out instead of
Well, double check your lower and upper with us, and then you can just combine them and
Yeah,
divide.
Okay. I don't know if it's my turn, but for my lower, I got negative 0.003.
Me too.
Okay. And then the upper, I got 0.029.
Yep.
Correct.
So if you add those together and divide by 2, you'll get your margin.
Um, divided by 2, 0.1465. So I would round it up to 1. Did you guys say 147? Or wait, did I not divide by 2? Hold on just a second. Yes. Oh, just kidding. 0.016.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Oops. I think
Okay.
I missed a 0 there.
You're okay. Do you guys care if I go next?
Go.
Sure.
Okay, so we're performing a hypothesis test and tells me which one is the most appropriate for addressing this question. It's the only one with the difference then for the
Different. The
alternative
unequal sign, the not equal
Yeah.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
B.
Yeah, the first one.
It's the
Oh,
top
Well,
one.
B on the
quiz.
paper, first one on the
It-
quiz.
Got it.
Yes.
Yep.
At least those are
except
nice
for
because you can eliminate half of them just because the null's written
Totally.
wrong. So
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice. Okay, so question 19. I think it's you, Meredith. Sorry.
me, sure. The value of your test statistic is I got 1.458.
That's
Yes.
what I got.
Okay.
Woohoo! I just feel better.
I know, it's so satisfying. The p-value of your test statistic is 0.145.
Yep.
Yes. All right. I think we're out of order. Should I just go?
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
Okay. So these screwed me up. The way some of them, I was like, hold on.
Yeah,
So
really.
I said,
Double negatives.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I said no. I failed to reject
That's what I put
the
too.
null hypothesis. So H of O.
That's what I put.
I don't know
Yes.
why it was all of a sudden catching me off guard when I was answering those, but it did.
That's what I put as well.
Okay. But back to me.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Morning person, evening person. Calculate the test statistic. I always can fuddle that one up. For this hypothesis test, assume the requirements for the test are satisfied. I got 6.579.
Okay, so it's going to be rounded up, though.
Yeah, I got 6.58.
See, that's
But-
where mine was different because mine did not round up to 80, but I can change it.
How far does it tell us to round?
Did you do it in SPSS or did you do it in Excel? Just
SPSS.
curious.
I did it in
I-
Excel.
I did
It
too.
came out as 6.578,850, so that would just be 6.5 or 579.
9. But I guess the
I know
only
that-
reason I use that is because of the the options.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a difference between rounding one. I guess if we get it wrong, we can change it back.
Yeah.
Well, and we've noticed in these other tests, it is okay up to a couple points. So
Yeah, exactly.
so far.
Okay. So calculate the p-value of the hypothesis test, and I put 0.087.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I get another hypothesis question. Okay, should you reject the null hypothesis or not? And I said, no, the p-value is greater than 0.05. So it's like
That's what I
fourth
put.
one down. Okay.
Yep. Okay, 25, what do you conclude? And I hope I read this right. We have insufficient evidence to say that being a morning or evening person is not independent of age.
Right.
Okay, hold on. This is different than the quiz. Do you conclude
It is.
based on your results? Okay, so insufficient. Yes, I had written that down in my little thing. No, I failed to reject. So wait a second. We have insufficient. So is not independent because we're we're rejecting the null or the alternative hypothesis.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so it's the last one. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, buddy. I gotta do this.
Oh,
Sorry,
bless
children.
you. I know.
They're so excited. I'm like, hold on. Okay.
Let's hit the road, Mom.
Oh, no, you're good. All right. So the next one, blah, 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 Dow Jones study.
Uh-huh.
Based on these results of the sample, do a 95% confidence interval. And so this one's asked for the lower bound. I got 0.190.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. And is it asking for no, it's not. For the upper bound, I got 0.310.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do my little calculations because I don't have this one. You can go
And just
ahead
as a side note, did this one throw you off by the time you got to number 27 on our paper or our
What do you mean?
So I didn't realize that I had to go back to the info this is what I did. I went back to the info in 23 to solve for 27. Is that correct? What I was supposed to do? For all my info?
Back to 23. Are you talking about the paper or the quiz?
The paper. Sorry, the
Oh,
paper.
okay.
That's why I was just worried my calculations wouldn't be right because I realized I needed to go back and look at the info that was already given earlier.
To figure out which answer are you talking about?
For the test
to do the
statistics. Sorry, I'm ahead.
So
Because it shouldn't have affected 28. This next one that we're doing. It shouldn't affect that one. It's just when we get down to the test statistic.
down to number 31.
Uh-huh. So go ahead with number 28, sorry, on our quiz.
Okay.
And then I'll just make sure I got the right numbers plugged in.
Okay, right. I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
All right. Is it my turn? I think it is.
Yes, ma'am.
What sample size would be needed for a 2% and 95%? I have 1537.
Correct.
Oh, wait a second. Did you guys skip the margin of error question?
Was it on there?
Suppose you've been designing the study with, what sample size? Oh, just kidding. No, that's why I missed it because I was thinking it was a margin of error question. So I was like all going ahead and trying to get the answer.
Oh.
Silly me. Okay, so wait. 1537. Yes, that's what I got.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Liz, which one?
I think
29?
Yeah. Okay, which of the following pairs of hypotheses is the most appropriate for addressing this question? Let me make sure that they're the same, that they look the same. So it's the one that says P equals 0.2, and then it's the one that says P is greater than 0.2.
Correct.
So that is
Second from the bottom.
Second from the last, yeah. Okay. As I transfer, as I'm taking the test.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It gets confusing.
I know, I just don't want to miss one because of my transferring in the middle of, trying to Thanks, great. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Well, take your time. Tell us if you need to slow down
That's
for a
okay.
minute.
I'm good. We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Okay, so question number 30. What requirements must be met to ensure that P hat is normally distributed? It's the top one,
Yes.
and P is greater or equal to 10.
Yes.
That one made it easy.
Yep. I love those easy ones.
All right, 31. The value of your test statistic is 1.768.
Yes.
Yay. So
30
did you guys
oh, go
plug
ahead.
those all, sorry, did you guys plug all those into your Excel or whatever? Or
I did.
Okay,
I did.
okay. Just want to make sure I did it right.
Yep. Number 32, the p-value of your test is 0.039.
Yes. Okay, is it my
Sorry,
turn?
I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I just don't want to be really loud. I'm going to cover my microphone. Never mind, it passed. Okay.
Good job.
All right. I'll just go ahead. Is there sufficient evidence to conclude that graduates from the top 10 business programs perform better than other investment margins? Let's see. I said yes. I accepted the alternative hypothesis. And that one is the second from the bottom.
I put yes, I rejected the null. You can't
That's what I
accept the
put.
alternate. You have to
Oh,
either
you're
reject
right.
or not,
Or fail to
or
reject.
fail to reject.
Yeah, I put
So
the
it's
first one as well.
So it's yes, I rejected the null. The
Yes.
very
Yeah.
top. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. See. Thanks, friends. Keep me straight.
Happens. Oh boy, this is a long one. Okay, so for question, whoa. Low. Now this one is the last one. I can't do this
For
one.
question, whoa.
Question 34. Is there a similar one on the? I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, 30 on the paper asks you
Okay.
to do the confidence interval, and so this is just asking for your lower bound.
Okay, hold on. My papers might be out of order. I'm missing a paper. I am
Question
missing
30.
a paper. Yeah, I'm missing paper. Let me just double check and see if. Oh, here it is. Hooray. Question 30. I put negative 0.01262. I don't know. I didn't round anything, but
Yeah, so it just rounds to 3. Or
0.013.
0.013.
Yeah,
Negative.
right. Yes.
Is it me?
Yes.
The upper bound, I have negative 0.002.
Yes.
All right, I'm just inputting these because I put 2 different answers in because I was like, it's one of these.
Oh.
Okay.
Because I did it 2 different ways. Because I did it the first time without entering in the mean population, like
Mhm.
the 0.295 as my
Mhm.
test value. Anyways, okay. Yes, I did it right when I did put it in. Okay, so for the next question, sorry, I'm just scrolling down. I got my degrees of freedom are 99.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it me?
Yes, and
Okay.
this one was not on the paper.
Then I don't have it. Input the test.
Well, you
Let me
might.
see if I put it on here. I did not. Oh, it's negative 2.083 or 803.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I wrote it down, but I'm not sure why. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it
Oh,
asks.
lucky you.
It says
It did?
50 degrees of freedom and the test statistic for a test of whatever.
Yeah.
So it just it lumped them into 2 questions.
I didn't even do that second part.
That's
so-
okay. Oh,
Oh,
good.
no, I'm doing good.
Exactly. I wrote it down. Good.
Well done.
Oh, I did it on the quiz, just not on my paper. Okay.
Good.
All right, 38. Input the p-value. I have 0.006.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. 39. Based on the results of this test, what would you conclude? I concluded that we have sufficient evidence to say that the true mean is different than 0.295.
That's
So the
what
first
I put.
one, yes.
Yes, the top one.
Mm-hmm. That's what I put. 40 or 34 on the okay. So the lower bound of the confidence interval, I have 8.728.
Yes.
Okay, the upper bound then is 10.455.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I got a large test statistic.
Yeah, I did too.
Me
Okay,
too.
because I thought I totally had it wrong.
You
Because
can do that on those scores, right? It sometimes
Yes.
gives a giant one.
Yes, so it's 22.446.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yay.
That would be scary if it was on the other one. On the other,
Yeah, Z score.
not scary, but yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You'd check your work. I think we would check our work. We did.
Right.
Okay. I think it's you, Meredith.
Is it?
Maybe.
The degrees of freedom, I have 40.
Yes.
Yep.
And I have the p-value. I have 0.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did I
it's
do that
way
right?
too
Okay.
small.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
it was
good.
point something to the E, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, like negative
Hooray.
24.
Yeah. That's when I like second guess myself. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Okay. Good to know. Great to know.
Okay, so the next one.
You
How
always
come
get
I
these
keep
two.
getting both?
Every single time.
Okay, I struggle the worst with the interpretive, by the way, of our test
Oh,
statistics.
and here you
but
are being tested in front of us.
You're fine. So I said yes because we rejected the null.
You do a great job. That's what I got.
Oh,
Me
thanks.
too.
All right, go to submit quiz. Hallelujah.
Really? All of them?
I didn't.
Uh-oh.
What happened? I was just grateful it's over, but
Oh. Yeah, I got an 86.
Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to circle my, we're not
Let
as,
me go to the top and see where we... All right, number 3 is not an independent sample.
okay,
Oh,
what
we
other
just lost
choices
Jody.
did we get? Oh, really?
Hopefully she'll come back
Oh,
in.
she got so excited she left. Okay, so number 3, let me just pull these back.
It's the Human Resources Manager
Mhm.
one.
I need to reorder my. I will
think
never
that's the
take
one
them out of my binder again. I took it all out of my binder thinking that would be helpful, and now they're like out of order. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
where am I? I don't know where I am. Okay.
I think this is where I told you guys what I thought it was, and apparently I was wrong.
Okay, the Human Resources Manager.
This is the
And I
discrimination
had put
one.
a chi test too, a squared test. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I was right. Your attorney wanted to determine.
Okay, well, it's not one sample because we've cut 2 different groups, over
Uh-huh.
40 and younger than 40. So that eliminates the 1 samples.
I thought that the groups. I thought that this was as if we're grouping them into 2 different things and then reported the number in each group terminated. Is that? We're determining if they are treated equally. We're not determining their number, are we? Well, I guess the number that's treated
See,
equally.
and that's why I thought it was independent,
Measurement.
is that you wanted the average of the younger to be equal to the average of the older, so there wasn't any, that's why I thought it was independent. So if it's not that one, then I don't know. Let's see.
Are you chomping on an apple or are you sharpening a pencil?
Who?
I hear us.
Me?
Yeah, that funny sound.
I'm not making any noises. I don't hear anything.
Really? It sounds.
Maybe it's my earrings. Let me take my earrings out. It might be.
You know what it
Making
sounds
too
like?
much
A
noise.
pencil sharpener. Just like, you know what I mean?
It could have been my earrings hitting my cords or something. Do you still hear it?
No, I don't hear it anymore. Maybe that's
Okay.
what it was. How
I
funny.
had some dangly earrings in. Maybe that was just rubbing against my
That's funny.
headphones.
Okay, let me think about this. So you definitely think that this is a quantitative?
Well, it could be two proportions because your null is that P1 is equal to P2, and that's what they want the two different groups to be equal, and they're testing to see if they're not.
Real quick,
Oh,
I'm going to
she's
send
back.
her another. Oh, there she is. I was going to send another
Hey, guys.
invite just to think. Hello.
I don't know what happened. It just said my internet something.
Something
I'm like,
gave out.
God. Hey, sweetie.
We're just going over what we think we
Okay.
did wrong on number 3
Okay.
of what else it could be. What did you say you thought it was originally, Elizabeth?
I thought
The
it was the
chi-squared?
chi-squared test of independence.
Time to go.
Let me just look. It's time to go. Come on, Mom.
I know. Hold on. Hold on.
We're
I'm
trying to
like,
hurry up.
Independence.
no, you're good. Is it number 3 on our quiz or number 3 on our paper?
It's number 3 on the quiz.
On the quiz, the one
I
about
thought-
discrimination.
I guess I thought the reason that it was two variables that are not associated, meaning the older group and the younger group. I mean, that's what I was guessing, but I missed obviously. I just thought it was a categorical thing and focused on that, I guess. I didn't pay attention to the number reported of employees.
Sorry, I'm going back to my notes, reviewing. I always had it as the independent 2 sample. I didn't. So that's the one we got wrong?
Yeah, it's not independent. Could it be paired?
It shouldn't be because the.
And that the difference of their means would be 0, so there's no difference.
Mm-mm.
I'm just trying to. We know it's not the one sample of either kind, and it's not an ANOVA because there's not 3 samples.
Mm-hmm. You know what? By accident, I put ANOVA. That's why I got it wrong. I don't know why I did that, but I didn't double check before I. So we know it's not ANOVA. I'll tell you that. Oh boy, darn it! How did I do that? Okay, I wish I had.
I've done that before, where I've scrolling and accidentally changed my answer.
I wonder if that's what I did because I don't remember clicking on ANOVA.
Okay, so there's clearly 2 samples that they take. It's hard to say that because our only option then is either it's a test of 2 proportions or it's an independent sample t-test because I don't think this is paired.
No, I don't think it's paired either. But you don't think that it could be a chi-squared?
The CHIO, maybe.
I don't know where you'd get all that information to fill in your rows and columns, though.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Very good point. I mean, just hasn't given, that's what I thought. It just hasn't given me all the information, but that doesn't make sense. So it's going to have to be a test of 2 proportions. That's all we have left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would make it a categorical. Jody, do you think that it looks like it could be because I thought that it was categorical. I didn't think it. That's why I chose between.
Okay, so they're testing. This really could be the chi-squared, and my reason is because they're testing for more than one thing. They want to see if there was age discrimination, but they also wanted to see if both groups were treated.
Equally.
I mean, it's kind of equally.
Yes.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that is.
Is Meredith still with us?
I am. I'm just reading over all the different nulls, see which would fit their. See, I don't see that there's more than one variable to do a chi-squared. All you have is age.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to have another variable.
So we can't say the 40 years older is one group and the 40 years.
No, because it'd have to just be the age is your variable.
Yep. Okay.
I think. I don't.
I said they're grouped by age. They have nothing to do with each other. So that to me felt categorical. I don't know.
And in no way,
Except that there's a number of employees, so that made me think it was quantitative, you know.
right. Well, in no way did group 1 determine who was in group 2, though.
Mhm.
Except they work for the same company. I don't
Right.
Yeah, but
know.
I don't think
Right, but that didn't, I don't know, like,
Yeah, you didn't. If they're paired, they have to have an equal number, right? Because you've got to compare this one to this one and this one to this one, down the
Right.
line.
Yeah.
So it can't be
Exactly.
paired.
You have to have a match or a pair.
So I'm leaning towards
Proportion?
2 proportions now.
which is lame because it needs
That
to be
the
more obvious.
I know. Throw us a bone here. Come on.
Seriously.
Hmm.
Was that the only one we got wrong?
No.
No, the next one, number 4, we got wrong.
Oh, man.
The state lotteries.
Okay.
And then also the Wall Street Journal one we got wrong.
Okay, so for the state
Number
lottery,
7.
I put test of 2 proportions. 2 sample test of 2 proportions. Shoot. And that's what we got wrong, right?
Okay. But didn't that one say proportion? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe not.
It does. On 4 the population.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's
Trying to figure
not
out
a
why we
test
got these
of 2
wrong.
proportions. That is different than the proportion of males.
Would this one be a chi-squared? I mean, you've got,
It's not a test of 1 proportion.
because you've got that you're doing males and heavy lottery players.
Okay.
But the wording doesn't indicate that you want to find out if they're connected.
It's so hard to think. When we're like, don't have my.
I don't know why we got that one wrong. I mean, the question, you want to determine if the proportion of male heavy lottery players is different than the proportion of males in the population. Well, that's exactly what a 2-prop does.
Mm-hmm.
Your null is that proportion 1 is equal to proportion 2.
Is this something like, remember the Oreo one? How we just assumed that they had tested regular Oreo cookies?
Mm-hmm.
Well, did we get the Oreo one right? Let me go down and see. We did get the Oreo one right.
You know what I'm saying? Like where I thought that was like 2, but it was actually just 1 study because they never test the Oreo cookies. What if they just never tested against the regular male population? They just wanted to see what the heavy lottery players. But it says it's different.
You're right. They want to determine if the proportion is different than the proportion of males in the population, which is 48.5.
Yeah.
So they already know that one. So maybe this was a 1 proportion that they just needed to figure out. Let me look at that. Yeah, so our null is that P equals 48.5%, and our alternate is that P does not equal.
Yeah.
So I think it is test of 1 proportion. We already know our number.
Okay.
This was number
4.
state
That was
lotteries.
number 4.
I'm just changing my paper so that when I go to.
Yeah.
So this is a test of 1 proportion. Okay, that makes sense now. Man, these are tricky.
Yeah, they are.
So wait a second. On 3, we had put test of 2 proportions, but we were.
I had put
debating.
Independent.
We
Right. Okay.
So now we're
So-
going to guess test of 2.
Test of
That's
2
what
is
I'm
right.
thinking.
Okay. Because Jody, I don't know if you were on when I said I think I clicked on the wrong, like I put ANOVA by
It's
accident.
not ANOVA. We
Got it wrong.
not ANOVA.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was scrolling and somehow inadvertently hit it or
Okay.
something because I don't remember putting that in there. So so annoying.
Okay, well, we also missed
so-
number 7, the Wall Street Journal on satisfaction with career paths.
Of course we did. Okay, so I was wondering, wasn't something with the proportions, it's going to answer a yes or no question? Just curious, did I just read that out of nowhere?
I don't remember that.
I don't
Okay.
either.
I had put confidence interval for 2 proportions as my answer, or I had thought originally that that's what it was. Let me just look and see.
I
And we
I
ended up
originally
putting
thought that too.
independent. And we changed it to independent 2. Okay.
And it wouldn't be a chi? The chi-squared?
You can't do a confidence interval with chi-squared.
Right, correct. I'm just doing the process of elimination here at this
Yeah, that's not
point.
even one. It's not even one you can choose from. So,
Okay, darn. I was like,
what did you guys think this was before we
I thought it was
talked about it?
confidence interval for 2 proportions.
So that I have it. It was either independent or 2 proportions,
yeah,
and we chose independent. Should we go with 2 proportions next time?
I think let's try it.
Okay.
Okay. And then we missed 14. What's the probability?
Well, dang, that means I told you guys wrong.
Oh, maybe it is the one. Okay, I did it by, I did not use Excel. I did, but that was the one that when I calculated, I got 0.1385,
mm-hmm.
and then I rounded it up to 1.3 or 0.139, which wasn't an option. So that's why I thought I was wrong.
So did you guys just do this by hand?
I did
I
it by
did.
hand.
I don't even remember how to do it by hand.
It was z equals value minus the mean, and then you plug it into, you get the z-score, and then you plug
Okay.
that into the applet,
Right.
and you get
Okay, okay, thank you.
0.1385.
So tell me what your
I know.
numbers were.
How do we do that again?
Elizabeth, tell me what your numbers were that you
Okay.
plugged in so I can see where I went
Okay.
wrong on that one.
Sure. 0.25
Mm-hmm.
minus 0.30
Mm-hmm.
over 0.046. And
Okay.
that was our standard deviation that we got in the previous answer.
And that gives you your
And that gives you our z-score, and the answer was negative.
Mm-hmm.
The z-score, my z-score was negative 1.087, and I took that to my applet.
And this is the normal probability applet, or is it the t-test?
It is the normal probability because it's the z-score
Okay.
that we're looking for because it's a one sample proportion.
Right. I'm just trying to go back in my mind frame of where I was.
I know.
And we're doing less than, so we just want the left tail highlighted, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yep.
So 1.0.
So what did you
Okay.
get for your z-score?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I got negative 1.087.
Okay. I think what I did is
rounded.
I was trying not to round any of this until the very end.
Okay, that's a good point.
That's how we did it before, and that's why I didn't get the exact value. I was like just one short because I got 0.1374, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, that's accurate then, because that's what 0.1. Well, oh, it's not accurate.
It's not.
Slightly.
No.
Mine is slightly over. Oh,
Right.
I see.
So maybe I just shouldn't have rounded. Like I rounded it to the 4th, thinking that would be long enough. Maybe I just should have plugged it in as I got it. As you remember when we had to plug everything in before we learned the calculator.
Yeah. Well, if you do the value minus the mean over the standard deviation, that is the equation. That's how you set it up. So
right. And that was okay. I gotta scroll down. That was what number on our thing?
It's number 13, but it's number
It's 13 on the paper.
14 on the
On the
quiz.
quiz.
I'm comfortable putting the 0.1385.
Yeah, me too.
Or 0.138 or
Mhm.
one.
It should
So
go
not
with
rounding it up to
1.139.
Yeah. Since that's how I did it by hand and I feel comfortable, I'm going to do 0.139. And if I get it
Yeah.
wrong, I'll fight it. I mean, I think it's, or I'll either fight it or I'll ask how I did it wrong. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
Yep.
I don't know how I would have gotten that wrong. I did how we're supposed to, so whatever.
Mhm.
Okay, let's
All right.
see. Next we missed
34 and 35.
Oh, for the
Oh,
love.
what about 28? Did you guys get 28?
Um,
I have 28 right.
And we put 1573?
1537.
yeah.
Dang it. I didn't think I was dyslexic, but maybe I am. Like, numbers up. Not the first time I've done
Now,
that.
what
My goodness.
other number were we scrolling down to?
I have that we missed 34 and 35. The confidence interval,
Yeah.
upper and lower and upper bound for the blue score.
Okay. So this,
That,
because this is what I did wrong in my previous quizzes,
Okay.
is I know to us, we know what the null hypothesis we know it's 0.295. And so we put that in for our test value, right? Off of reading that. We're not supposed to at that point. We're supposed to put that in down below.
0.9. Wait. I'm confused.
Say
Which
that
question
again.
is this on the paper?
30.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys are breaking up. It's probably
Uh-oh.
me.
I can hear you clearly.
Let me move.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys okay too.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
direction.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us? Me?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Is it getting better?
I can. Yes,
I can hear
good.
you just fine.
Yeah, me too.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Let me try to add to the call again.
Okay.
Or can you guys hear me now?
We can hear.
We can
I
hear you just fine.
perfectly clearly. Yeah.
No.
Hello?
Let me join you guys
Are you there?
again.
Okay. I don't know what we did wrong on this blue
Yeah.
score.
If we
I did a 95%. There's nothing really you can change.
right 0.013. Yes, negative and negative, and I put my symbols there and everything. And we all got the same answer, which is what's strange. Okay, what did we all three do wrong?
Because our degrees of freedom was right. The test statistic was right. The p-value's right. So how could the confidence interval be wrong if I got everything else right?
Exactly. And we were using SPSS. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Round to 3.
it's weird. .95% confidence interval. Shoot. I don't have the thing opened. I'm going to open it up.
And there's nothing to change. Nothing we didn't. There's no cases to weight. There's no difference to figure out. I don't know what we could have done.
Hold on, I'm just going to pull up the file just for Did we need to put a test value in? Do we have a test value? 0.295. We put that in, right? I did, I think. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe I did the wrong kind of a test because I didn't have anywhere to put in the.
I put it as a one sample t-test.
I can't remember what I did. Let me go back to my
Okay.
outputs and see if it says. Yeah, one sample.
I'm going to send her. She just said I can't get back on. I'm just going to send her one more.
Oh, darn.
Just in case.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have my test value as 0.295, so I did put that in.
Me too.
There she is.
Okay, good.
Hey, you're there.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. I kept trying. I was like, oh, this is so frustrating.
It's
Oh,
frustrating.
no, she's gone.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Oh.
Wow. I don't know how we could have gotten that one wrong. Unless it is not that kind of a test.
Well, let's go back to the data.
There you are again. Jody?
Yes, I'm here for a moment.
Okay. We'll take you while we can.
Sorry. So what I was trying to say about that test question is we were too smart because we read it and we had already determined what the null hypothesis was, and the hypothesis where it was mu equals 0.295. And we weren't supposed to do it with that yet, not until the next question where it says, with this information, now what is this? Because I got
So which test
quizzes.
did you do?
So I didn't. If I don't enter in anything, that's the fluke thing I figured out, that the teacher's like, okay, you figured that out, but I'm not going to tell their students because that'll confuse them. But that's exactly what I kept doing wrong in my quizzes, is I would read all that information and form my hypothesis test and automatically enter in the test statistic, but I'm supposed to wait until it specifically tells me to.
So you did a one sample test but didn't put anything in?
Correct.
As the
try that
test
again.
value?
I did not enter in any test value.
So one
But a one sample
sample
t-test or a one sample test? Okay.
So you just left the test value box 0?
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
'Cause there were times, I do remember that there were times that it didn't ask for that. And so then you got completely different. Yeah, it looks like confidence interval.
Yeah, the confidence interval is completely
282
different.
and 0.293.
Correct. That's just my best guess about what's going on here, because that's the same thing I kept messing up on a quiz when we were learning all this. And then I just had to back up and take it out. And then I got the correct scores.
So 282 and 293?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's number what on our quiz again? Number 34.
On the quiz, 34. So we were supposed to have done it with a 0, and then on the next one, then you put in the thing?
The test value. That's really going to be confusing.
Yeah, I don't remember ever doing that before.
Very confusing. And again, that's if that's for sure what it is, but that's why I kept getting it wrong earlier. And then when I started doing it when it gave me the test statistic, then I got them all right. I don't know how you guys did it before, because I've always done it this way.
You didn't ever input the test statistic or the test value?
Yes, unless it specifically had it in there for me.
I guess.
Then we might get it all wrong and not be very happy.
Okay, so if you do it as just a analyze descriptive statistics explorer, and just put, and then change, make sure you're at a 95%, that's when it gives you the big blue box where you have your lower and upper bound is just
Right.
listed through with everything else than it is 282 and 293. So I think you're right.
Mhm.
We just tried the wrong kind of test originally and put the thing in.
Oh,
Right. But we got the other ones correct, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
at that point, you do enter it in as your test value to get the correct T-score and
Yeah,
P
and then to find your degrees of freedom because it doesn't list that on this type of test.
Mhm.
And... Okay.
So it's a roundabout way
That's-
to get the right answer, but we had figured it out.
Okay, that just is confusing. But I
It
get
is.
what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did we miss any other ones besides those? Whoops.
28.
No, that was
Oh,
it.
that's because I missed that one.
All right, well, I'm going to retake it and change the answers. Do we need to all stay together or just email if you have any other
We
questions?
can email if you need to,
Or
if Jody needs
text.
to hit the road or whatever. Are we going to go over our next? Do you guys want to go over the collect the data part together, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah,
I didn't do a whole lot.
you collected your
we just
data.
did- We just did our data for group number 3.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I'm filling out the paper.
Oh,
Are
I'm
we
like,
all
what's our
supposed
group
to do
number?
it?
Doll?
3.
Are we
It's 3.
Yeah, I forgot.
are we all supposed to fill
I'll
out
type
this
it in.
collect the data final like project
Mhm.
part?
Yeah,
Yes.
we all submit our own.
Okay, so I have mine open.
Mm-hmm.
So for number 1, state your research question. I just copied and pasted it off our design the study. Was that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. I
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
You're smart lady.
We are trying to determine how many times we would have to flip a coin to get 10 heads. To get heads 10 times.
Yeah.
Summary of what we learned. Boy, this was a learning experience. Learned a lot. I couldn't find anything that I didn't anticipate. So how am I going
I
to
didn't
make
either.
this sound smart?
Except that I was really tired and kept dropping the coin.
Yeah.
It took
This is
longer.
what I.
Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, I know. My kids are like,
How did I handle it? Not very well.
I was bored.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you what I wrote, and then we can. I mean,
If
I
you
don't know
have
if we
anything
have to
better
have the
than us.
exact same thing. Well, or if we have different ideas that we can incorporate into our paragraphs.
Yes.
I said I collected my data by randomly selecting a coin out of a bowl of many coins, which was not what we had said in our original thing. I didn't know how to use an app with coins. Did you guys do the app thing?
I forgot.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, you're so funny. Just found a coin. Okay.
I just grabbed one off my desk.
I picked one out of a bowl, which was like picking out of a hat. You know what I mean? And I just thought that is a simple random sample. That's how it's done anyway, right?
Sorry.
And then
Go
I
out for a
said,
minute.
it's okay. I said I enlisted my sons to flip the chosen coin enough times. Hold on, to get 10 heads, and we repeated this process 10 times to get 10 samples. I recorded the results first on paper and then transferred them to a Google Docs spreadsheet. I'm just trying to add words because I'm like, I don't know, this sounds simple enough to me. While flipping the coin, I learned that it is necessary to flip high enough that it actually flips around and doesn't stay on the same side as it started.
Oh,
That's
good.
all I anticipated that was real different. Do you guys have any additional thoughts?
I can tell you what I put. Mine's kind of boring.
Go
ahead.
I collected the data by flipping a nickel in the air and catching it with one hand and placing on the back of my other hand. I recorded if it was heads or tails and also kept a tally sheet of how many total flips. Once I flipped 10 heads, I recorded that sample and began again on another sample. I recorded a total of 10 samples. I did not count the flip if I dropped the coin or if I caught the coin vertically between my fingers.
Awesome. That's
all I had.
wonderful. That's wonderful. That's very clear and concise.
I love that.
I do too.
I think something that I did not anticipate is, well, I did kind of, but our data was all very close to each other. Like our first round was the exact same.
I
Our
noticed
second-
that too with me and Elizabeth. I haven't looked at yours.
Yes, that is
Yes.
interesting.
And then I actually, because I was like, I don't want it to look like I'm doing this on purpose. I got 19 for my second one, so I didn't put it down to my third because I'm like, that's just weird.
That is funny, though. That is. No, change it back. That's
That is
funny.
weird. Yeah, keep it.
I'll be like, that was
Keep it.
that was not on purpose, people.
That's awesome.
Unusual.
But all of ours were similar.
And at
so
the end, it took us many, many tries with 25,
We were so
28,
ready to be
27.
done.
yes.
We're like,
Like, just give me a head.
Well, it held
high enough.
and it held true to the theory of when you increase your sample size, it all comes closer together. Like, I don't know. By as many times we flipped it more, we became closer together in mean. Like our data is very similar.
Uh-huh.
There's a more scientific way it worded it.
So we don't have to do any charts on this. We just have to attach this little spreadsheet when it says attach
Yes.
the data that we.
Yes.
Okay. So we don't
Yep.
have to. Have
Oh,
like
I did a little
discrepancy
table on
curve.
mine. Hold on.
You could do a little table. That's okay. He'll take
Back-
anything.
All right, well, I'll just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a way to? How do we attach this to like this little Google Doc to the?
So save
Yeah,
it as a
do that.
Word document.
Okay. Yeah. Like
Or
what we
is
did
it,
before.
will it let you do that? Download as a Microsoft Excel.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just go to the download as.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Got it.
It'll all work out. And
So,
this
and then it's in
whole
two different pieces.
project is worth like 10 points, people.
Right. So it's not a panic.
We're
No
okay.
need to panic or spend hours on end.
I'm not worried about my paragraph.
Yeah.
It's my-
Good. Good. Thank you for pointing that out. I really appreciate it because you're absolutely right. We don't need to
It's
worry
okay.
about this. We need to worry more
You're
about our
great.
tests.
Yes.
Okay.
When are you
All
guys
right.
taking the test?
Oh gosh.
I'm going to take it tomorrow morning. How about you guys?
I'm hoping to take it right now. I got too
really?
much going on the rest of the week.
At
We'll
10
get it done.
p.m. on Wednesday. Just kidding. No, I don't know. I'm certainly not prepared today because it's hard for me to gather my thoughts of when I answered these questions originally. But I
Yeah.
felt pretty good this weekend. I wish it would have been open on Saturday because I probably would have just went
Yeah.
for it.
I
Yeah.
probably would have too, quite honestly. I don't know that I would have done that well, but because these are catching me, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to the point. I'm just ready to be done.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
I hope there's not too many of these which hypothesis test to use questions.
I
'cause
know.
They're just
know.
too time consuming. And
I'm going to bet that there are. I mean, even those few questions really dinged us. So,
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's let you go, Jody.
Yep.
Okay.
Enjoy your
Have a
road
safe
trip.
trip.
children are like, let's go.
Okay, everyone's ready. We don't need to chit chat anymore. Hit the
Yeah.
road and have
Have fun.
fun.
Thank you.
See you guys
Okay.
later.
All right. Sounds good. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.